What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I know it's been a good while since I've actually shot any kind of a video. That's in part because I've been busy with work, but also because I've kind of been on a little journey in a way, learning how to do tarot. So it's good books, and then I got some decks here too. So I'm gonna show you guys in the video. I'm gonna kind of go over my how my tarot journey has progressed, and also kind of show you guys, the decks I've been using. Talk a little bit about the books that I have, and then just overall just fill you in on what I've been doing for the last year and a half, I think it's been, since I've actually posted a video. So stay tuned. Okay, guys, so the first, what have I been doing for the last year and a half? And it is since my last video. And it was learning and learning and involving myself with tarot readings. Those are some books, like I showed you before, and then decks again. I have other ones sitting here too. But learning how to read tarot and just learning tarot overall has kind of been my main focus aside from work in the last year and a half. So what had got me started on this tarot journey? Well, about a year and a half ago, there's a store that opened in the town that I live in called Well Oiled. They have a second location close by too, but in town they had opened a location. And it's a store that basically they sell stuff like essential oils and candles and tarot decks, books on related topics, just different spiritually related stuff. So I'd wandered in around the time I think it was my last couple videos, and I got to talking to the owner and the staff there, and all super great people, super friendly, super knowledgeable. And I think the first thing that I bought was like a bracelet or two from them, and I went in a time or two after that, continued to talk to the staff. And first time I went in and I really started to notice it more and more as I went in was the tarot deck section there. So I'd always had kind of an interest in it on and off throughout the years. Whenever I've seen that there, I'm like, okay, I think I want to start learning how to do this and teaching myself. And that was really like my main draw at the time, aside from, me going in there. And I think that's really what pushed it off, was the fact that, there really wasn't anywhere around prior to that actually sold stuff like that around me. It sold like tarot decks and people that were involved with that. After that store had opened and I started going in and seeing it there, it was readily available to me to purchase the deck and start teaching myself, and I had people that I could talk to and all that stuff. So, and I think honestly overall learning from it, my main draw in tarot is the fact that it can help people, and that's my biggest thing for it. And the more I learned how to do it, and after I started doing readings on people, which really wasn't long, I kind of did it as I learned. So, that was my biggest draw to tarot, was the fact that it can help people and kind of give people a spiritual type of advice, if you will. Okay, so now I kind of want to take a minute to kind of show you guys. I'm not going to flip through the whole deck and all the decks in full, but just kind of give you guys a rundown of the tarot decks that I kind of have bought, or the ones that I mainly use, rather. And I think I bought 8 or 9 altogether, but there's 4 decks that I mainly use and read from whenever I do read tarot. And the first one actually is the second deck that I bought, and that is the Fountain Tarot. Comes in this really nice, magnetic, shiny flip box. The artist that did it was, I'm not sure, doesn't really say on it, I don't think. It'll probably say somewhere in the guidebook, I don't remember. I knew at one point who illustrated the deck, but I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. But anyways, this is the little guidebook for it. Nice little booklet. It gives a good detailed description of each card. Here we go. Created by Jonathan Sayes. I know I botched that. The book's written by Jason Gruhl and designed by Andy Todaro, I think is how you say his name. But this was actually the second deck that I bought. The first one, I really liked the deck from the artwork on the outside of the box, but I just found it too hard to try and learn from. So this was really the deck that I started to it really started to sink in for me, and I started to kind of learn how to read tarot and understand it. So I'll show you a couple of the cards. 10 of Wands, Sun, Real pretty Sun card. Three of Wands, and it kind of started to make it sink in for me, but even some of the artwork on this was still a little bit tough. Magician. I really like the Eight of Swords in this deck. Basic definition for the Eight of Swords is kind of lost direction, not knowing what to do, so you kind of see how, you know, the guy's got swords pointed at his throat, his head's hung down, in a very bad situation, doesn't know what to do. So that's the Fountain deck. I don't use this deck as much now that I've gotten other ones, but I still do read from it from time to time and do still enjoy using this deck. The second one that I have is actually the third deck that I bought, and this was the one that it really started sinking for me, and it became my main deck that I read from for the longest time, is my Prism Visions deck. Prisma Visions deck by James R. Eads, and he's a great, I mean, I'll make sure at least link his website. I'm going to try and link all the decks so you guys, if you guys want to buy them, whether you're into tarot or just starting to learn how to do it. I'm going to try and link them all on the website below where to find these decks. But this wonderful artist, if you go on his website, he has several decks to choose from. Not all are tarot decks. One's an Oracle, couple tarot decks. One's an Oracle deck. One's a Lenormand. I still haven't learned how to say that word yet. One's a Lenormand deck. But beautiful, beautiful artwork. And you see, you know, silver edges, nice blue backing. The artwork on this, you got the Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, and I'm sorry if there's a glare and it's kind of hard to see. 4 coins or 4 pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. And I just love the artwork in this deck. This is probably one of my favorite cards in the deck, and it's a hard deck to pick favorite cards from as far as the artwork goes. But the Ace of Cups in this, I love. So all about abundance of joy and all that stuff, and you just see all the water flowing out of the fountain freely. So, but this was pretty much my main deck that I've read from for a long time, and it still continues to kind of be my main deck. It does such a great job, I feel, at giving good readings. And I might do it in a later video if I continue to do tarot-related videos, but the cool part about this deck is that if you lay out all the minor arcana, each suit, I'm not sure, for you guys that don't know much about tarot, there are 4 suits in a tarot deck, swords, cups, pentacles, and wands. If you lay out all the sword cards from ace to king, it makes a big picture. All the coins from ace to king makes a big picture, so on and so forth. So that was probably my biggest draw to this deck, was that. I'll kind of show you the back, so that gives you a little bit of an idea. That's some of the swords cards laid out. So that was the third deck that I bought, and it's kind of my main deck that I read from. The next deck is called the Lightseers deck, and this is a wonderful deck for beginners, actually. It has a lot of influence from the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck in it, and you'll see that whenever I open it up. But the Rider-Waite deck is kind of, there are several traditional tarot decks. The Rider-Waite deck is one of them, and it's the most popular, and it's the system that it uses is what most tarot decks that people get and see is based off of. And Chris Am was the artist behind this one. So this box doesn't flip open, it pulls open, super nice and thick cardboard. The guidebook to this is exceptional. Most of your guidebooks are going to be small. Sometimes you don't get that great of a guidebook with a deck, sometimes it's just a sheet of paper. But this one does such a great job at going in depth on the different cards and their meanings and little stories behind them. I mean, it fit a lot in this little tiny book. So, and like I said, this is a wonderful deck for beginners. It doesn't have the shiny sides like the other two did. Most decks that I have do have that gold or silver edging on them. This one doesn't, and it's a beefy deck, so it's got good card stock to it. And you see our Three of Swords, our Heartbreak card, does a fine job at depicting that. Eight of Cups, all about a spiritual journey. So you see the woman, she's kind of walking on like a lake, kind of wandering off into her emotional type journey. Tower, all about walls crashing down, coming up from the rubble. So you see the lightning strike hitting the tower. Then you see the little animals, you know, wondering what they're going to do. or it's a tree, I guess, in this picture. But, you know, they're wondering what they're going to do and trying to rebuild their home. Star card. Love the star card in any deck. Star card's all about hope. So you see she's looking up to the stars to look for her next step in life. But this is a wonderful deck, too. I read from this not as often, but it is still one of the main decks that I use whenever I take multiple decks out with me. But I love the artwork. It's so wonderful, especially if you're new into tarot and you're just getting started and you see this video. Out of all the decks that I'm going to have in this video, and there's one more, but out of the 4, this is probably the one I would recommend the most if you're looking for your first deck. It's called the Lightseers deck, again by Chris Ann. And last deck that I have, and it's the newest one that I got, is called the Silhouettes Tarot. And I don't remember the artist off the top of my head. I found it on Etsy. Let's see if the Woe Studios... Oh, throwing stuff. Woe Studios, the place that printed it, I guess. And the artist's name is... Let's see here. Doesn't say in the book. At least not without me searching for it. And this book's pretty basic. It just gives you... I mean, it's a nice thick book, but it just gives you basic wording on the cards. I'm not going to really flip through it that much. Now, the Prismavisions and the Fountain decks did come with bonus cards, too. Traditionally, there are 78 cards in a deck. Some decks will come with bonus cards. I'm not sure where I put the bonus cards for the Prismavisions and the Lightseers, or the Prismavisions and the Fountain decks, but they each came with 1 bonus card apiece. This one actually has 5 in it, and I don't really use the bonus cards whenever I read from a deck. If I get one that has it in it, I like using the traditional 78, but you know, this is called the Silhouettes deck, and it just runs off of all silhouettes. So you see that one, Hibernation, Conversation. And I haven't really read into them, so I'm not really sure what they mean. So I think these ones are like an alpha, beta, and gamma type deal. Or mind, body, spirit type thing. But to show you the actual deck, yeah, it's very simple in a way, but it's very vibrant and it does a really good job at getting the point across. And I've been using this deck a lot in readings lately. We got our Justice card. I think that one's our Ace of Cups. It's kind of hard to see on the camera from my point of view. World card, very colorful. Yeah, you see, I'm going to get a close-up on this because it is such interesting artwork for this. But you see the world, you see girl in the middle. She's got all this, you know, plant life growth around her, everything kind of growing up, which emphasizes what the world really means. Oh, 5 of coins, okay, poverty card. So you see how you got the family, they're kind of walking away from all that bad, all that, you know, dark, wintry stress. And one more. Ah, here we go, the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is a fun one. Always about a toxic person. At least I find whenever I do readings. But it's about being rebellious too and fighting against things. And then the Tower. A little bit of a different, from the Lightseers, a little bit of a different, similar depiction, but a little bit of a different way. And the Seven of Swords. Pinocchio looking, I guess. Ornery little guy. But I have been using this deck a lot lately, and I really enjoy this one. It's got gold edges on it. So very nice touch to it and black backing. So those are the 4 main decks that I really read from most of the time. All great artwork. Also, if you see this video and you're kind of thinking about getting into tarot, my biggest recommendation, even if you don't get the specific deck that I had recommended, when in doubt, go for a traditional Rider-Waite deck. It'll say on it, and if you're going to a shop to buy your first deck, they can point you towards where to go to find that in the selection. But, you know, kind of go to not only what you're drawn to, but look for decks that, you know, you'll find good decks will have a nice box like these. Yeah, a nice sturdy box, a good booklet to it. You know, you're going to want a good booklet if you're first starting out. You also have the option of buying, you know, a separate book that goes more in depth. Some decks have a full-size book that they sell separately, or there are books available that are just, you know, the tarot meanings and just teach you how to read tarot on a basic level. So it's an option, too, to buy a separate book in addition to the deck. But look for something that has good, descriptive, vibrant artwork. Has a nice box to it. Will usually be a good indicator of that for as odd as it sounds. A nice booklet will be a good indicator of that. You're not going to really see the booklet, though, until you buy the deck and open it up. So just kind of ask around, Google around a little bit, kind of look and read the back. A lot of times it'll have some of the card pictures on it. That one has it. This one isn't the original box for the Silhouettes. It's actually a box that I bought separate because I didn't like the box that the Silhouettes Tarot came in, so I wanted to give it... It's a nice deck, so I wanted to upgrade the box, give it a nice box. Oh, you see on the back of the lights here, so... Hopefully it focuses for you, but you see it shows some of the cards, so you can at least get an idea of how the artwork is going to be from looking at the box. Also, don't be afraid to buy multiple decks. If it's something you want to learn how to do, don't be afraid to, okay, you buy one deck, it's not really jiving for you. Don't be afraid to look around for another deck that you think might work better for you. Like I said, it wasn't until I bought my second deck that I started to really understand how to read it and read people without looking up the cards. And then once I got my third deck, the Prisma Visions, this deck is whenever everything really started to sink in. So it might take a couple of decks before you fully can get down the basics to do readings without looking up the cards every single time. Alright, so I'm going to talk for just a quick minute about the books that I've bought since I started this journey, and it's actually 2 of them. I have 2 more sitting over there that came with later decks that I bought. They're actually full-size books as opposed to the booklets that come in these ones. But I'm not really big on reading books in the first place. I mean, I like the idea of it. I just never really have had time in the past. But I bought 2 that I'll read through from time to time. The first one was the Advanced Tarot book by Paul Fenton Smith. And this just kind of goes, talks a little bit about his own experiences in tarot and, what he's done throughout his career doing it. But it also gives a good in-depth definition of each card, the suits, what they all mean, and it explains everything in full. So it's a really good book for people to kind of buy as like a companion thing whenever they're first starting out learning. I mean, it does say advanced. I'm not sure if it's only because I bought this after I learned the basics, so I'm not sure if it would be a good fit necessarily for a beginner just starting out. But if you're a little bit like me whenever I bought it, if you were a little bit along in your journey in learning, it might be a great option for you. It's not that expensive either. I think it was like $30 or something like that. $40. I don't have the price tag on it anymore, but you can find it on Amazon. And the other one I just recently got was the Modern Tarot by Michelle T. And it kind of has a similar idea of it goes through her tarot journey. Whereas this one has more focus, I think, on the cards themselves and the card meanings, and has his life throughout tarot, I guess, is the right way to word that, in it. But the main focus of this book is the card meanings. This one, she kind of gives basic card meanings and her own interpretations, but a lot of this revolves around her journey throughout the years in tarot and her experiences. But so far, I'm really liking this one. And if you're like me and you don't really read books a lot, I do recommend going on Amazon and buying these little magnetic bookmarks. They're really handy. That way you don't have to keep on folding the pages. I know that was something that I was doing for a minute with these, and that's just it doesn't look very nice in the book. So, especially if you want to keep your stuff in good condition. So they're like $6 for a pack of 12. Okay, guys, so to kind of sum up the video, like I said, I got into it about a year and a half ago. That's, part of the reason why I haven't really updated you guys on any videos. So I apologize for people that, did enjoy watching my videos, that found them helpful, that haven't gotten any new content in the last year and a half. I do apologize for missing out on that. I just haven't had any time up until now to really sit down and film it because I've been so busy with this. There's only so much time in the day and week, I guess. But it's been a wonderful journey for me. It was something that I really didn't like I said, I'd always had an interest in it, but it was something that I really didn't know that I could do until I really sat down and started to learn how to do it. And once I did it more and started doing it more, and after I started reading other people and have always gotten great feedback even right from the get-go, I found out it was something that I was very much within my realm of possibility to do. And the biggest aspect of it to me, I think, and biggest draw for it to me is that it can help people. I mean, on a basic level, it's pretty much just advice. There's no set, this is the exact future. It's not really a future prediction thing like a lot of people like to believe it is, especially people that don't necessarily read tarot and don't understand how it works. It's not really a, hey, this is going to happen in the future. It's, here's some advice, this is a possibility. And a lot of people do take a lot from that. And, it's been a fun journey. It's been a interesting journey. I'm going to continue on it. I apologize for people that have been missing my content that enjoyed it. I just haven't had time to do it. There's only so much time in the week, unfortunately, in the day. But I wanted to find some time to sit down and film a video to kind of update you guys. I'm going to continue learning and expanding my knowledge in tarot and continuing to do it. I don't know how often I'm going to be able to get videos up on here just because I am working so much at the moment right now. But I'm going to try my best to update you guys with some videos here and there. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more content related to this. I'm going to definitely try and put it up. I can do I don't know if I'm going to do readings on here necessarily, but I'm going to maybe do deck reviews and book reviews as I get them, new ones. Maybe even review more in depth some of the decks I have so that you guys can see them. I can do a flip through video, I guess. If you want to see any of these decks in full, let me know. I'll do a flip through video of that just to show you guys the artwork a little bit more, because the artwork in each of these decks is absolutely gorgeous. There's a reason why these are the 4 decks that I do read from mostly. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you want to see more content related to tarot, I'll do my best to get some up. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.